Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to episode 5 of this Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4, episode 5 of Let's Play with German Empire, Army with the State, preparing for war, stuff. Right, let's just tick through time. In the last episode we spent some time setting up our industries. We are building up a whole load more stuff now, including starting work on some trenches. We've also assigned all of our armies to proper militaries of 24, so we get the maximum use out of our generals. We do have the beginnings of field marshal armies, but they're mostly there just to kind of hold the line, and we're going to be far more aggressive with the generals themselves. Suffragette demonstrations. After being disenfranchised for years, women have begun to take to the streets of Washington, D.C. and London, demanding their right to vote. The American president, in particular, perhaps on the suggestion of his wife, has already signed their voting rights into law, and the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom does not seem long behind. Restructure Deutsch Ostafrika. East Africa is our foremost colony, but that doesn't mean we can't do more in the area. By expanding the role and administrative powers of the colonial government, we can effectively build up a region further for us. Cool. I think we now need to start on the anti-French policy, although we could also get doctrine effort. Ooh, panzer effort. Interesting. You know what? I am going to do doctrine effort because I quite like being ahead. Alright, so we have once again got 150 political power. Fortification engineer. That would mean we get our land forts faster, though that doesn't seem to include trenches. We could get the naval bases 15% faster. You know what, we'll start with you, as we're going to be working on those very soon. The other thing I wanted to do was start improving relations with you. And with you. Which apparently I can't do, right, because we don't have enough. America chooses new freedom. In 1912, Woodrow Wilson ran on the platform of the New Freedom, which denounced what Wilson perceived as both Theodore Roosevelt's more paternalistic and collectivist new nationalism, as well as William Howard Taft's conservatism. A Bourbon Democrat, Wilson promised lower tariffs, free trade, and trust breaking in his speeches, though the progressive movement would encourage him to enact a more moderate form of Roosevelt's proposals through the creation of a Federal Reserve and support for the income tax. While some of these policies might be costly in the short term, in the long term they would both help keep consumers protected from economic recessions and make goods less expensive, satisfying the populace for the moment. Right, we have air squadrons. Let's start on airship bomber training. And if the enemy does use a lot of airships against us, then we do want some kind of anti-air ability of shooting them down. So yes, we do want to research those fighters. Once we have the trench excavation, I think we'll start getting the scout fighter things. Because if they start hitting our industry, then that is going to hurt. No doubt about that. Okay, so we started working on the dockyards. We have got coordinated submarines. So we can now go for convoy target focus, so submarine surface detection, submarine raiding coordination, battleship organization, capture ship attack, or battleship organization plus 20. I think we want these ones. Fast fleet move, cap ship attack plus 20%, battleship organization, so withdraw more likely. So I'm okay with that. Trench excavation is finished. That is everything up to here. So now we can start working on the air stuff, and I think I do want the Fokker Eindecker, so we can start getting some air superiority and interception. More importantly is the interception, actually, so we can take down any zeppelins that they do decide to float over us. Oh, we have military factories free. Marvelous. I'm going to start building some zeppelins. I think. That many? Yeah, that many. And we also are going to need to trade for more wood. Again, wow, we're really short on wood. We'll buy from Sweden. So we still have pretty good sources for all of that. We do still have the free trade, which is why we're building everything so quickly. It is meaning that we're having to trade more and more, but I'm okay with that. I think it's still a good trade-off because everything gets built faster. Right? Yeah, construction speed plus 15%, which is why we're industrializing so damn quickly. It's pretty good. Right, so have we brought in any more troops? Possibly. Just the one guy, which we're going to send over to that front. Russia South, Prussia, Russia Central. Where's Russia Central going? Up here. Yes. Just making sure that everyone is properly in their armies where they should be. France South, France North, France. Just the green. And you guys under Hindenburg are up there. Good stuff. Colonial armies do not yet have a commander. I could assign someone to be a commander. Doctrine effort 2. Though our general staff has been made thoroughly merit-based, perhaps they aren't the only ones who can assist in our military doctrines. A class of men who've been mostly dormant since the early 1800s, straight military theorists, are beginning to appear once again. Though many of these men have limited combat experience, their study of war cannot be ignored. Integrating them into our staff will somehow help. I think we're going to start the anti-French policy, because we do want to try and get to the Agdir crisis, although that has apparently already passed. And actually having an independent Morocco wouldn't be a bad thing. The Ottomans seem to be being beaten. Cool. Let's put you into an actual training division. Okay, we have 3 dockyards. Haha, interesting. What do we need? Destroyers for anti-submarine duty? Probably. Air forces at this period won't be particularly effective, so I think submarines are going to be the main threat. So we'll stick you in the battle fleet. I mean, we could assign even more production to dreadnoughts, but having just that many doing it, I don't think it would be sufficient. We do need some more oil. Not really worth doing just yet. Only for 2. Once we have some more of these bad boys up and running, then maybe. But right now, no. Are we in danger of actually being fully prepared? I think we are. Oh, right, and we can also enhance the level of our trenches, which I think we probably should do. Let's at least get the front line up. And then over there as well. Mass production. Something amazing is happening at the factory on Piquette Avenue. Henry Ford's ambitious desire to make an automobile affordable for any consumer has inspired the assembly line production scheme. Though the assembly line has been in use since as far back as the Roman times, Henry Ford's clever use of moving conveyor belts, specialized machines, and more specifically skilled workers is close to making his dream a reality. I hope they have one in black. Now, the question is, do I want to upgrade these as much? Because I want to push hard in Russia, so no, I don't think I do. And we did not assign a drop-off spot for these guys, which should also be here. And go ahead and deploy. Right, all of you. We'll join that. Wasn't that all of you? Ah, it is. Okay, good. Right, marvellous. How are our suppliers doing? We are getting lots of field guns. We could actually start producing even more regular troops. So I would say let's start doing that. Let's go up to 20 at a time. And what about guards? Yes, I think we probably can manage to go up to 5 at a time for the guards. Cool. Getting more and more stuff built, which is excellent. Anti-French policy. Since time immemorial, the Germans and the French have been enemies. If we act around this reality, it opens up new and interesting options to deal with them in the future. Well, we haven't been enemies all the time. I mean, there was that one little period in EU4 when we had a personal union over them. We just need to remind them of that fact, that the French should rightfully be German. Okay, so we can get the anti-British policy, and this one we do want because the Brits have been arseholes. While the Anglo-German friendship was nice while it lasted, Germany and the United Kingdom have come to bear each other in recent years. And it seems like this won't be reversed anytime soon. Come to bear with each other. I have no idea what you mean by that. Acknowledging our rivalry outright will open up some options to circumvent them diplomatically. We didn't get anything for the Francophobia. Are we producing enough armoured cars to start working on some of these guys? I have a feeling we are. Your max speed is only 4. That's not good enough. I actually want you to be using cavalry. And support artillery. Do we want to make you bigger? Yes. I think we're going to... Oh man, these are expensive. We'll save that. And I think we will start training some Strassenpanzerwagen, sorry. How many? 2 at a time? 2 at a time seems reasonable. And then we can add these to our fast units and hopefully use them to go and kick some ass. What are we short on? Wood. As always. Sweden. More wood. Thank you. Okay, so we're working on the last of the East Prussian dockyards. We are now up to how many? Oh yeah, we're getting those pretty quickly. Like, we're building stuff so fast, it's amazing. It is August 1913, so war is getting closer. The French, however, are building up more and more. They have a lot of divisions. Well, so do we. Yeah. Counter-offensive. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. However, sometimes the best offense is an enemy's mistake punished. By trying to bait the enemies into attacking, just to slaughter them and respond with an attack in kind, we can easily ensure a successful offensive battle. Let's get specific encirclement, which is more or less what we are intending to do over here to the Russians. And then when we have a straight front, we're just going to keep the pressure up and push. Over here in France, I think we are going for a Russia-centric war. We'll try and beat the Russians back to kind of this line at least, so we can get the Caucasus oil. And then once we have that, then we'll probably push off to France. Maybe go after the Netherlands and Belgium for an encirclement. Maybe. And we can modify government again. Aircraft designer. Strategic bombing. Yeah, I'm not sure. You two are identical. Gotha and Allgemeine Elektrischgesellschaft. Or Fokker or Luftschiffbau of Zeppelin. Agility and max speed is pretty nice, but then so is 20 reliability. Heavy fighters and tactical bombers. Do we get those anytime soon? Well, heavy fighters not until 1936. Tactical bombers we get from pretty much the start. I'm honestly not sure. We could get we should get the aircraft. That's what we're looking at. Dumbass. Well, considering heavy fighters don't appear on the scene for a long ass time, it's really between these two. I think it's got to be you. We'll go with Fokker. Which is kind of annoying because we started researching that plane already. It's not going to have the bonuses. Oh well. The next version will. Are we still short on oil? Still need more wood. Alright, we're going to buy that extra wood now. Fokker Eindecker, there we go, we can start building those. Need another 2 years before we can even start working on the other planes. Let's get the heavy artillery hard attack, I guess. Yeah, we'll finish these off, that'll be good. First flight across the Mediterranean Sea. Today, the locals of Bizerte, Tunisia, noticed a strange flying object. Oops. Oh, Agadir was bypassed because we didn't get to it quickly enough. A French professional pilot in his Morane Saulnier monoplane. This journey marks the first crossing of the Mediterranean Sea by air, an astounding landmark for the young science of aviation. Local sailors were reportedly not impressed. Okay, so we have the anti-British policy. While the Anglo-German friendship was nice while it lasted, we read that already. I guess we'll go reinforce Deutsche Südwest Africa. Oh, there's Schlieffenplan. I guess we're going to send the German advisors. No, we can't. Because we've done it already. Dumbass! Alright, I don't really feel like I need to defend that very well. Let's start on the east. And you were just ignored. Okay, that's fine. How are we doing in Bavaria? Slow process, but it's getting there. Are we currently building stuff there? Not currently. Alright. Just wondering if there's anything else that we could build in that area. Not really. Wait, we have no air bases? Let's get up to level 4 air base over here. We do need to start building some Fokkers as well. And then I guess level 5 here, because you're right on the front line. So, we are going to need early fighters. Let's start building some of those if and when we are able. We're starting to produce some airships. Let's leave that on just... no, let's leave that on 5. I have absolutely no problems with bombing people. And we do have a whole load of military factories still to go, so we should have plenty of capacity to make that happen. Meanwhile, do we have more troops? Oh yes, we do. All of you guys need to join my training unit. You guys can stop training. You lot. Can join the Russian front. And there were 3 of you who are guards. Prussia. I'm going to take some troops out of your lot. Put you into the Russia formation and put the stormtroops for you. Okay, let's get you into positions. Because I want to give Prussia a helping hand. Because they have a line to hold and they're also going to be pushing south. Airship bomber training. Airships have been shown to be no good for fighting enemy aircraft and thus must be tooled for bombing specifically, ensuring that not just the pilots but every crew member on one of these airships knows when and how to do things like open up the bomb bay and resupply it properly will ensure that we make the most of this type of aircraft. Plus 15% strategic bombing. Let's do bomb sighting. Cool. How are we doing in supplies? We are low on heavy artillery. We have plenty of everything else, so we could even start building even more regulars. I think we may have just got some more guards. Let's go up to 30 into training at once. We still have plenty of items for that. Okay, cool. Guard divisions? Yes, there's a whole bunch. All of you guys need to start training. Cool. Assert German position in the east. The position of the Central Powers in the east is the same. Weaken Russia and build hegemony in the region. As with Russia in particular, seems to be nearly inevitable. War with Russia seems particularly inevitable due to the Balkan situation. This is an effective course of action to take, though will drive France and Russia closer, which could prove to be an issue. We're getting even more political PowerPoints. Don't need more. Okay, let's get the Russophobia policy. Russia is no friend of ours and never will be again, due to their extravagant claims not only on friendly territory but our own Polish land. Accepting this truth could lead to some new ways to deal with them down the line. Convoy target focus. Convoys are easy prey for any of our ships, and very important targets as well. Yet, as if by instinct, most of our captains prefer to fire at their escorts instead, essentially wasting time and allowing critical cargo to escape. If we drill a focus on destroying enemy cargo ships above almost all else into our doctrine, we can severely hamper our enemies' economies. Alright, fast fleet move. We're actually going to be pretty well developed at sea. Right, Chief of Army. Recovery rate, experience gain, division speed, or training time. I think we're going to go with division speed. We're all about just rushing. That means that when we actually get tanks, they're going to be unbelievably quick, which is pretty cool. Okay, December 1913. At some point, we will need to think about... Actually, we're already on a partial mobilization. We can't get war focus until... Oh, world tension is high enough. Shit, we should have switched to that. Oh, we must either be fascist or communist, or if neither of those are true, then we have to be at war with an enemy country with more than 40% of our total factories. Well, that's definitely going to happen when we go to war. So when exactly that will be, I don't know. Even more sodding wood. We're importing 144 wood now. I just like this extra construction speed though, it's so nice. We definitely have the civilian factories to spare, so I think it's fine. We're probably actually earning factories by trading away. Right? From exports, plus 30. Blimey, okay, what's actually being bought from us? None of that. Oh, here we go. We are exporting a fair bit of aluminium, no rubber, no tungsten. A lot of wood to Austria-Hungary, and then we're buying in wood from Austria-Hungary. Oh, here we go. Oh no, we're not exporting any coal. It must be, yeah, steel. We're exporting a whole bunch of steel, mostly to Japan, the Ottomans, the Netherlands, Venezuela, Bavaria, Austria-Hungary. Most of it going to Austria-Hungary. Cool. Siege artillery upgrade. Lessons learned in the development of different types of heavy artillery can be applied across the design of other pieces. We are now in 1914, so we can start working on the Tier 2 stuff. And I think that is probably an excellent idea. So we're going to get the Krupp artillery first, and then I think we'll get the heavy artillery. Oh wait, is there industrial stuff that we should have been researching? Probably, almost certainly is. No, not until 16. Okay. Well, what about in here? There's some. A lot of tank upgrades, but we don't even have tanks yet, so kind of pointless. Anti-Russian policy. Russia is no friend of ours and perhaps never will be again. I read that already. Anti-Serbian policy. The Serbians are rats and who would sell their own mother if it meant getting just a province out of Austrian Bosnia. If we face them as they truly are, an opposing state to us, we can prepare to stand against them in the future. Are you trained? Yes, you are. I think that you lot are going to be joining the Russian front. Just straight up Russia. Oh, we have another wave of troops. We are training divisions like super quickly at the moment. How's the manpower? 2.7 million. Okay. Let's keep you training. Oh, we got some of our Straßenpanzerwagen as well. Awesome. And we now do need to start importing some oil, so Netherlands, and also more wood. We can actually import even more from Austria-Hungary. Cool. I'm happy importing from our allies because it will increase their own industry strengths. Specific encirclement. Trenches and fortified lines are no easy target for our troops. The wall of lead and men to fight that extends seemingly forever is almost impervious to a full frontal assault. However, if we can find the weak points in the trench line, sneak through and attack not just from the front but from the sides and back as well, we can clear enemy trenches with ease. Deep defense. Land night attack plus 20%. Okay, that's really strong. With many recent developments in offensive doctrine, we must not forget our defensive doctrines as well. Deep defense, also known as defense in depth, is a technique that turns the frontline trench into an entire system with fallback lines, escape routes, and plentiful reserves, allowing us to ensure that any enemy who wants to make a long-term attack to knock our troops out of the area will pay dearly for it. Just want to have a look at what else is available. Light support, tanks and armor variant, soft attack or hard attack. Armoured warfare, breakthrough, soft attack, hard attack for all tanks. Tanks, breakthrough, reduced max entrenchment, and massively reduced entrenchment speed, but more planning speed, division speed, and org loss when moving. Okay. That's kind of interesting, where it basically reverses all the entrenchment bonuses that you've been building up to. What in fact do trenches do? So we have some pretty high level trenches over here. Can we see what it adds? No. Alright. Alright, March 1914. Awesome. Oh, you guys are ready. Including another 5 Stoßtruppen, which we're going to add to the Prussian line. And then we're going to reduce this by 5, which we're going to add to Russia. So Russia, Prussia, and we have a whole bunch more troops that need to be trained. Right. All of you, not you, not you. Much faster way of selecting them all. And then infantry divisions, we're going to add you to the Russian front. Like so. Alright. We have 150 divisions on this front, 56 on the French front, but I'm not expecting to do much movement over here, so I think that's just fine. We can always shift troops across from the east front if we need to, which I think is actually what happened historically. Angetreten. Why do I have... Oh. No, I don't want the fast units over there. Must have put you in the wrong army. My bad. You are going to need a commander. Ah, bollocks. I've used up all of the fortress busters. Hutier. I think Hutier was your commander anyway, wasn't he? And Russia South can have one of the other guys. Not you, because you're old school. Von Einem. I'm going to train that guy up. So your objective, man, I'm glad I spotted this, is much the same as Prussia. In fact, it's virtually identical to Prussia. You're going to do that. And in fact, No, that's not what I meant. Damn it. That's not what I wanted either. There we go. I want you cutting behind this river if possible. Okay, good. And then Russia. Have you got stormtroopers? Oh, did I pinch the wrong units from you? That's possible. Okay. Russia South. You need another 6 units from Russia. That's not Russia. That's Russia. Okay. Russia South. Here. Prussia. Here. Fast. Here. Russia. Here. A bunch more in training. How is this going? We still have plenty of supplies. We're running a bit low here. What are we low on? Support equipment and heavy artillery. Okay, we do have a deficit in heavy artillery. So, we can actually start building some more. I mean, do we want more Fokkers? I think we'll start on a second line of heavy artillery, actually. Modify government. We still cannot get war economy. Do we want to save some for when war breaks out? You know what? I think we do. We'll do that. So we don't have a chief of air force. Naval, bombing, targeting, agility. Nah, we want air experience. You know what? Actually, we do want air experience gain. So that's fine. Okay, we have the anti-Serbian policy. The Serbians are rats who would sell their own mother if it meant getting just one province out of Austria and Bosnia. Yeah, we've read that. Prepare for war. More infrastructure. I think we're going to prepare for war. Hopefully you guys are getting your preparation bonuses pretty quickly. Alright, you're almost ready to go over. Do I want to slow down the amount of guard units I'm building right now? Yeah, I think I do. We'll go to just 3. And the Prussian army, how many guard? Here we go. You are going to be in training still. That's what I screwed up. So yeah, you're getting a couple of guards. Army experience is such that we could actually upgrade our cavalry divisions now. With either another armoured car or another cavalry unit. That organisation is pretty low. Let's go with another cavalry. Beef up the organisation. Yeah. So they actually have the power behind them to push. We're very short on armoured cars, but that's fine. We may actually have just finished building some new units. Apparently not. Alright, we have the craps. The crap. I knew I was going to say that. I was preparing myself to not say it, and I said it. The Krupp 75mm. Let's start working on the 135mm FK. Krupp and FK, come on! That's just not fair. Alright, let's start building those. Hold on, can we build Ryan? Really? Oh no, there's no actual difference. Okay. I was going to say, you can create variants on these now? Because that's something I really wanted, is variants in infantry equipment and stuff. Because I always have too much army experience. There's just not enough to spend it on when you're actually fighting. But apparently that's not going to be a problem right now. Alright, we have a number of units here. ready for moving over to the border, which will be the Russian border, I think. You're getting a lot of troops over there. How's the Western Front looking? France North is pretty confident. France South, not so much. Anyway, that's going to be it for now. So thank you very much for watching. If you are enjoying this series, then please do hit that like button. If you haven't done so already, then please do consider subscribing as well. And if you have any tips or advice for me, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.